I've seen people start getting worried about produce and vegetables and meats in the country. I've seen some TikToks about people saying we have 3 days worth of supplies and that's it. Oh, I dropped my phone. Figures. I need a gimbal. But I went looking. I had a 4.5 hour flight to look, and I couldn't find a definitive study that was recently developed. But I did find some studies that show, on average, there's about 3 days worth of food at any given time on U.S. grocery store shelves. Most of that perishable goods. So your fruits, your vegetables, your meats, things like that. About 3 days supply. It can be less, it can be more, depending on the population center, the number of grocery stores, whether or not you live in a food desert, things like that. So it's true that we do have a scarcity of produce based upon our supply chain networks in the United States for fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, meats. And as I'm researching this, one of the things that really blew my mind is 30 to 40% of all produce that comes into a grocery store every day is thrown out due to blemishes, due to size, due to colorations, due to it being too soft, it being too firm. You know, all sorts of things. The produce is still good. It's just thrown out. This comes to 131 billion pounds in 2023 and $161 billion in lost produce for the grocery store chains. Those are huge numbers. So the produce is kind of there. It's kind of not. Like, add 30% more produce to your grocery store and see how much more is there. It maybe might add a day, but we do kind of have a food scarcity due to supply chain networks. So that 72 hours isn't wrong. I'm not saying go make a run on the grocery store. Don't do that. There's no reason to overreact. Just like there's no reason to overreact about toilet paper, there's no reason to overreact about whatever else has been overreacted on the last 5 years. But it would be a good idea to go find some resources online. I'll see if I can find some for you guys that helps you develop your own 72-hour food kit with shelf-stable products. So we're talking about dried beans, dried rices, dried meats, different fruits, different vegetables, whether they're freeze-dried or not, that would last longer. I don't think we're going to have an energy crisis, so anything that can be frozen, those things will all be good. Find a good 72-hour kit like that you can build out. Don't forget like first aid kits, stuff like that, because these are good to have around in case of natural disasters and emergencies. And those, if you're building one for that, it's best to just get full shelf stable products. Don't go for the frozen stuff. But there's good resources for both shelf stable and not shelf stable 72-hour kits, what to have in your house. So find those. You can probably, for a family of 4, build one out for like $150. It's not super expensive, and it'd give you a peace of mind, especially with all of the uncertainty going on in the country right now around food shortages. Don't make a run on grocery stores. If you need help, there's plenty of local food banks who a lot of these grocery stores donate those blemished items to. Reach out to them. You know, patronize those places, because without people coming in, they won't get more. They won't get more federal funding. They'll go away. I've been seeing it all over the country. But don't run on the stores. Build yourself a 72-hour kit. Yes, what we're hearing about 72 hours worth of food is pretty dang accurate. It's not fully accurate, but it's pretty accurate. I can't find a good report for you. That's what I've got on this tonight. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later.
So I'm at my local Target in Central Florida right now. I had to grab a couple things, and I just wanted to see if there was any shortages here, and I need to show you guys. There is definitely some shortages going on, because this aisle is usually packed. Like I said, this area is usually always packed, and there's multiple shelves that are completely empty. Like, just wow. I'm actually surprised by this, because this Target is always stocked, and the only time I don't see it stocked is when I come super early in the morning and they're like actively stocking it. So yeah, interesting. This aisle isn't like too bad. There's only like some spots where there's not really much, but nothing crazy. This one's a little bare. Again, just like the juices are a little bare. Frozen fruit is looking more bare. A lot of like, I don't even know what's supposed to be here. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. think it's like mainly ice cream and like frozen dinners. Frozen dinners. A lot of spots in the ice cream. Seems like mostly frozen foods. Like little dinners, like frozen meals, frozen pizzas a lot too actually. Frozen meals definitely got hit hard. Again, a lot of like the popsicles and like ice cream, very bare. Pasta sauces don't look too bad though. The rice looks like it's a little bare, but not too bad. There's a lot of open spots in the alcohol section. Like, wow. So needless to say, there's definitely shortages. We're probably going to see more empty shelves in the following weeks.
Okay, can we just talk about how insanely expensive everything has gotten?
I have not had beef in so long, and this is why. Chuck short ribs, $22.
Nah, because be sober. Tell me why.
Prices are down. Groceries are down. Gasoline yesterday in 3 states hit $1.98 at a level that it hasn't seen since my days, my 4 years. So it's about I'd say maybe, I think we're going to be averaging $2.25 very soon. So I just want to let you know, though, because I keep hearing about prices and inflation. Prices are coming down, not going up. Only the fake news says they're going up.
Went to Sam's Club for 4 items, and they tell you the prices are going through the roof. Let me show you. 4 items, $100. I got some Chips Ahoy, the baked kind, right? That's one. Got the crusted flour pizza, cheese pizza. We all about that healthy, but 360 calories. That's 2. Carrot cake, all right. That's 3. And a pack of steaks. 4 items, $101. That is ridiculous. 4 items? That tells you where we're at, right? Usually for $100, you'll get more than 4 things. But no, not nowadays. And there's no discounts or anything for these particular items at Sam's Club. But like I said, man, the rate that we're going right now, next week, these 4 items will likely be $120. I'm serious. I'm not joking.
I kid you not. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, it is $69. That is so crazy. The highest price item was the Zyrtex, but since when is Zyrtex over $20? That is so crazy.
I have not had beef in so long, and this is why. Bro, we are literally living in hell. Chuck short ribs, $22. Bottom round steak, $14, $17. Chuck boneless, $13, $17. Okay, some ribs. Cube steak, $10.29. Pot roast, $28.86. Okay, bottom round, $15.92. Now, mind you, I am in Publix, right? But I went to Fresco, which is the cheap supermarket in the hood, and the prices were the same. Beef shoulder for pot roast, $37, okay? $28 for thinly sliced ribeye. T-bone steak, $22.43. I think that's okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. New York strip, 2 New York strips, $30.95. Like, is beef a luxury now? Is eating the meat of the cow a luxury now? Eating cow meat is a luxury in America in 2025. Even look at this ground beef. $12.05, okay? $11.29 for literally 1 pound. This, as a solo person, I could probably make three servings out of that. The ground chuck is a little bit cheaper, but it's a little also more fat, as you can see. They got the grass fed up here, $10 for 1 pound. Okay, $11.29, $12.39. This is absolute insanity. Like, I don't even remember the last time I had a steak, even a cheap one. Even the damn strip steak for a stir fry, which you're gonna put like noodles and vegetables, other things, $17, $18. Like, what is going on, man? Salmon too. Haven't had salmon in a long time because the price is freaking crazy out of control. People are not angry and suffering enough yet, clearly.
Are Walmart shelves totally empty? Let's go see. I feel like everybody's saying the shelves are empty, the shelves are empty. And if there's one thing about me, I hate fear mongering. So let's go see if it's true. All right, I'll get to food in a second, but it's also very important to have first aid. Honestly, the over-the-counter pain medicine looks pretty good. For my friends with babies, the formula does not look too shabby. The same with diapers, but I will say the wipes look a little sparse. Dog food is, again, the shelves are fine, but this is pretty empty up at the top where they have the overstock. The cat food section is looking a lot better. The dry food is a little empty up at the top, but as you can see up at the top, they have the overstock for the cat. That's the canned cat food. Juice is super empty, and the aisle with like Capri Suns and stuff was super empty as well. The milk section looks pretty soft, maybe like a little sparse, but nothing crazy. There are definitely some gaps in like the almond milk and stuff like that. The yogurt section is very sparse. There is not a lot. The shelves are pretty empty. Okay, here's the meat section. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I don't eat meat, so I never come here. It doesn't look super empty to me. Maybe like this is a little empty, the sausages and stuff. And maybe a little bit for the hot dogs, but it's definitely like nothing super crazy. And then let me walk down to the lunch meat. That also, oh no, that is a little bit empty. Not terribly, but definitely some gaps. This looks relatively empty again. This is like chicken breasts and stuff like that. I think the pork looks okay, at least to me. It doesn't look super empty. And then down here to like steaks and beef, definitely a few gaps. The soups and all the ramen is looking pretty good. The tuna and chicken is looking pretty decent. Canned tomatoes and pasta sauce are looking pretty full with a little bit of overstock left on the top. Canned vegetables are not looking too shabby. I don't see any huge gaps anywhere. Dried beans are definitely pretty empty. Rice, kind of the same thing, not looking super great. Actually, honestly, the big bags of rice, like the 10 and 20 pound bags, are completely gone. Flour is not terrible, but definitely some gaps. Peanut butter and jelly looks pretty good. The burger buns and like hot dog buns are a little low, but nothing too bad. And then down further is bread. There are a couple gaps, but honestly, nothing crazy. And then on this side is a coffee. I don't really see any gaps, honestly. It looks pretty full to me. Snack bars are super low. There's like a bunch of gaps. Sugar is getting pretty low and there's nothing on top. On the other side though, the spices look pretty good and there's plenty of overstock. Gatorade is starting to get kind of low, and energy drinks, if you're an energy drink drinker, water doesn't look too bad. For the most part, it is pretty stocked up. On the other side though, over here where paper plates are, there's hardly any paper plates left.
Well, guys, the collapse is fully imminent, and if you don't believe me, walk outside. I am walking through Chinatown, Little Italy right now, usually absolutely packed to the gills. There is almost no one around. Tourism is plunging in America. Any city that relies on being even remotely appealing to an outside visitor is going to have its economy crater now, right? Places like Las Vegas, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Miami. Who would come here if they could get arrested at the airport or sent to El Salvador? I mean, we were never the most appealing country, but we've really done a good job of turning it into diarrhea under this administration. I mean, you know, you look around, I just gave a tour to like 3 people, you know, which is staggeringly low considering this is approaching peak tourist season. And people are like, where are all the people? And I'm like, I don't know, probably your hometown. Thank you for coming. Thank you for ignoring the news. Do you get the news? Like, it's, you know, when someone's like, I'm in New York, I'm like, really? It's pretty staggering how quickly we have become a pariah. And if you don't believe me, walk outside. See for yourself. No one's around.
Uses to amaze me every time I go to the grocery store how expensive things have actually gotten. I'm going to show you what I got, and I want you to guess how much it was. Tell me, what do you think?
Okay, y'all, I am pissed. And yeah, I'm coming on here to talk to you guys about it. I'm so tired of being broke. I have done all the right things, and I am working as much as I can, being a single mom, trying not to take away more time away from my child. So I'm doing TikTok, and I am trying to do as many lives, but get enough sleep so I'm healthy for my child, but also find a time to work out, find a time for me. That's not including any of those things. And I just had to freaking take out a loan to buy groceries. Like, I had to use a firm and pay interest for my bare minimum fucking groceries. And you know what? For everybody that is going to be like, it's your fault for being a single mom. It's your fault for being in debt. It's not. Like, and I know that. I know it's not my fault, and I know I'm doing everything. But it doesn't make it any better. Like, the fact that for bare minimum groceries, I am now having to pay a monthly thing, and I had to make it the smallest amount because I don't have any extras. So I had to make it the small amount. So I'm going to be stretching this over a frickin' year and paying $12 extra each month because I don't have extra dollars. And then next month I'm going to be even more debt because now I have this added on top of it. But I'm going to need more groceries after this week to feed my son and I. Like, I don't get how people are surviving. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. And I know I'm not the only one. I needed to come on and say it.